Senator Marco Rubio, who joins us now from New Hampshire, presidential candidate, and Senator from Florida. Good morning, Senator. Good to have you with us today. I'm sure you've heard all of this.
Thank you.
It's been going around over the past several hours. Your reaction?
I mean, this is what happens at the end of a campaign. You know, we're 5 days away. There are candidates that aren't doing well. They're going to start to lash out. They think it might help them. I'm focused on the future of America. If there are policy differences, we'll discuss those. Those are legitimate. You know, we have differences on a policy. Let's talk about that, because people deserve to know their choices. But beyond that, this election is about taking back control of the destiny of our country so that Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton is not elected president. This is about winning. And if I'm our nominee, I'll unite the Republican Party, not continue to divide it. I'll grow it. We'll go out and take our conservative message to people that haven't voted for us in a long time, and we'll win. Hillary Clinton knows I'll win. The Democrats don't want to run against me. That's why they attack me more than they attack any other Republican. So we're excited about our campaign and the work we're doing, and we're going to stay focused on that. And I think it's going to pay dividends down the road.
You have definitely been the subject of a lot of negative ad dollars, and people have been going after you, and that may very well be the reason, because you've been doing well, and obviously you came out of Iowa very strong. Rick Santorum backed you. He was asked to name accomplishments that you have made, and he struggled a bit with that this morning. What do you think?
Well, look, Rick just signed on to the campaign, so obviously he's working with us, and you know, we'll have to continue to work on telling our story, and obviously Rick's going to be a big part of doing that. I'm proud of what I've done in public service, whether it was eminent domain abuse in Florida as the Speaker, whether it was VA reform, whether it was getting rid of the Obamacare bailout fund, whether it was additional sanctions on Hezbollah, whether it was doing the things we've done on the Girls Count Act to deal with human trafficking. Despite the fact that most of my career in Washington, which is only 4.5 years long, has involved Democrats in charge, we have achieved some real things. But here's where I'm really going to be able to help turn this country around as president. This campaign's about the future. It's not about just what we've done, what we're going to do. And I've spent this entire campaign talking in real detail and in specific about what I'm going to do when I'm the president. We're going to get this country turned around, but first we have to win this election. When I'm our nominee, we will.
So one of the big moments here before the voting takes place on Tuesday is going to be the debate that you will be part of on Saturday night. You've been strong in these debates so far. There's an article in the New York Times today that suggests that Jeb Bush's people and Chris Christie's people have been talking to each other, and that they will be coming after you pretty hard. And this is going to be the line of attack, that they don't feel like you've been tested enough. What is your response going to be? Can you give us a preview?
Well, look, bottom line is this. The most important issue a president will ever be tested on is on national security. And I have better judgment and more experience on those issues than anyone else running in the field, certainly on the Republican side. On issue after issue over the last 5 years, I've shown better judgment and a better understanding of these issues. And being commander-in-chief is the most important job of a president. So I'll be more than happy to discuss that and any other issues they want. But I think we need to remember this election, again, is not about the past. These people want to keep focusing on what happened in the 90s. Well, this election is about the future. America is either going to be greater than it's ever been, or it's going to be a great nation in decline. It's time for us to turn the page and elect a new generation of leadership that will help this country turn the corner. And that's what this campaign, for me, is a key central focus of our campaign. It will be Saturday night will give us a chance to talk about that again.
You know, I want to talk about the work that you do on the Senate Intel Committee here for a moment, because that is a place where you are privy to a lot of information in terms of the investigation that is going on, that the intelligence community has against this server issue for Hillary Clinton. Do you have an understanding of whether or not there was information on that server that was breached by foreign governments or perhaps a criminal syndicate?
Well, let me just say, I'll discuss what's in the public record already, and that is that there is no doubt that Hillary Clinton had classified and sensitive information on her private server. And I think it's widely known that foreign intelligence agencies, China, Russia, the North Koreans, have signals intelligence capabilities to access private servers. They've even tried to access government servers. And so I said from the very beginning, when this story first broke, the first comment I ever made about it was one that talked about that and saying, you know, the big issue here is not just that she removed classified information, but that she exposed it to foreign intelligence agencies. Suffice it to say that if someone on my staff at the Intelligence Committee would do what she did or people around her did, they would have been fired. and they probably would have been prosecuted. She did it because she believes she's above the law. She's not above the law. No one is above the law. And I think the fact that she did this alone disqualifies her from being president of the United States.
Let me ask you this. Is there any evidence so far in terms of the operations, the way things are done, either in the military or in the intelligence community, post this Hillary Clinton server issue? Have they changed the way they do things because of this incident?
Well, I think you've seen some of the guidelines that have gone out about clearly warning people about doing this. But by the way, that was the guidelines before. It was illegal to remove classified and intelligence information out of an insecure setting. You can't take a document out of the building without appropriate clearance, and you most certainly can't post it on your own server so that you can look at it on your BlackBerry because you think you're above the law. That's what she did. That was the policy then. She knew that.
But there's no indication, Senator, that there are now more stringent rules that are being put out there, or that you see them sort of ramping up and changing their posture because they're concerned about what happened there?
Well, I'll only comment on what's in the public record, and we haven't seen any of that represented yet in the press, other than some stories about, obviously everyone's aware of this and is now making sure that they're not doing the same thing that she's done. I can tell you it doesn't happen in my office, and it doesn't happen on my staff, and we are privy to the most sensitive intelligence information of anyone running for president right now, currently. And so the bottom line is that I can tell you that I would imagine that there are people throughout government now making sure that they're not doing what she did. But I think it was clearly understood even at the time that just removing the headline or removing the classification marker does not unclassify a document.
Okay. Senator Marco Rubio, thank you very much, sir. We'll see you in New Hampshire.
Thank you.
You bet.